War Eagle.
Good morning, Coach. Thanks for joining us. We'll go ahead and get started with questions. Our first one is from Brian Matthews.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Coach Porter. Thank you for speaking to us today. Want to start out with punt return. Just sort of let us know where you stand on that, and who's your main guy now, and what's sort of your plans.
Well, obviously, from a punt return perspective, we have a very aggressive approach, but when it comes to returning, Eli has worked himself into position to help us. We started the season with Christian Tutt. I think they're about even in terms of pretty close to being even in terms of returns. But we plan on using both going down the stretch of this season.
Next question is from Jordan Hill.
Larry, we saw Jordan Peters get in and make another block in that Arkansas game. Just how big has his role been on special teams and the things he's been able to do for you guys?
He's played a very significant role on our special team since the day that he's gotten here, or the day that I've gotten here. He's on every phase. He's involved in every phase, and we kind of see him as a staple within special teams. And in every phase, you can feel his presence in some kind of way. And when we bring new guys in, we kind of use him as a model. But he's had a knack for blocking kicks, and he continued to do that this season. And hopefully we can get a couple more before the season is over with.
Next is Bill Cameron.
Some of the time, Anders will kick the ball out of the back of the end zone on kickoffs. Other times they're short. Is that intentional, or is it just some missed hits or anything? Just wondering if you'd rather have coverage or just out of the back of the end zone.
Not all are intentional. Some he's mishit, but there are times where we strategically are asking him to do certain things, and he's done that. But overall, he's been pretty consistent. If there's an opportunity where we feel that we can gain an edge, we'll plant that in his ear, and he'll go out and do what's asked of him. So that's kind of been his deal. But going down the stretch, we're looking forward to him being a weapon for us.
Next question, Coach, is from Jason Caldwell.
Hey, Larry, we've seen you guys go kind of back and forth some between the two punters. Has it just been a matter of a weekly competition between those guys because they're so close, or is it some strategy involved kind of depending on who you play?
It's a little bit of both. Initially, Oscar got in a little late, so just getting him acclimated, to our system, to our program, and getting him comfortable. On the other hand, Aiden had some experience with our scheme and our system, so he was a little more comfortable. He knew most of the guys on the team. So it's been a little bit of both. In certain situations, we like Oscar. In other situations, we like Aiden. But I think as of now, they both have, played a significant part in terms of what we're trying to get done out there on the field. So, going forward, I think you'll kind of see the same thing as well.
How pleased have you been with the consistency that those two guys have shown so far?
Well, it's a work in progress. Again, just going back to Oscar because, some of these things that, were new to him and just being fair to him, getting him comfortable in what we're asking him to do is our first priority. On the other hand, Aiden's, a little more experienced and know what we want, and so we really and truly happy about the fact that we have both because they give us something different, and that going into games you have to prepare for two punters, not just one.
Yeah, thanks.
Next is Nathan King.
Hey Larry, hey, thank you for talking to us. When we talked to Gus earlier this season about him not calling plays this year, he said he kind of is enjoying more time that he can spend with special teams. How are you liking that dynamic this season with him, and what does he bring to your group?
Absolutely love it. Obviously, with him being the head coach, that speaks volumes because they know that there's a real emphasis on special teams. And then he has a tremendous amount of experience with special team and his knowledge. So we welcome that all the time. At the end of the day, we want to put the best product out there on the field, and we want to be in position to execute. And above all, we want to make sure that our special teams is truly giving us an opportunity to win games. And with the addition of coach, and it's not like he hadn't been involved. He just has more time now, and that's been good. It's really been good, and I think he's enjoying it and he's having a lot of fun. But I love it.
Next is Jordan Hill.
Barry, we saw in that Ole Miss game that big return, even though it didn't count by Tank. Just how much value does it have to have a guy like Tank that can break a big play in the return game and can at the very least give the offense a lot of good field position?
Well, that's what we've been accustomed to around here with Noah the last 4 years, and it didn't dawn on me until about halfway through the season. I looked back there and I saw number 4, and I almost freaked out because I was like, what's Noah's doing out there? But Tank has been a tremendous addition to what we're asking our guys to do out there. And I think in time, I think you guys will see the value that he brings as a kick returner and, how explosive and dynamic that he can be. But we certainly enjoy the fact that we have him back there, and he loves doing it. And I think the guys that are out there taking the field with him believes that he can score on every possession. We just need to give him the opportunity to do so.
Next is Steve Moulton.
Yes, Coach. I appreciate the time today. I was hoping you could talk about your kick return squad and just your overall how effective they are. And one other question about Anders Carlson's tackle against LSU. I'm wondering how you would grade that tackle in particular, Coach.
Well, I'm going to start with the tackle first. The one thing that we pride ourselves in is just fundamentally making sure that the team as a whole understand how to tackle, and to see Anders go out there and be in a position that he's the last line of defense and makes a solid tackle was very rewarding for me as a coach, and I think I speak for the rest of our staff. So it was it was an exciting thing to see. So we gave him a lot of praise for that. In terms of our kickoff return unit, we've been dealing with this for a couple years because we've made some explosive plays and some game-changing plays on our kickoff return unit. So each week when we get out, we always see something different, which we're prepared for. But sometimes it's a little frustrating because we get so many different looks. But with that being said, I think right now, we're trending in the right direction for what we want out of our kickoff return unit, and I think the guys are starting to settle in because we do have an influx of youth in some areas or some positions on our kickoff return team that some freshmen have taken over and really starting to get comfortable and do well. So to answer your question, just the efficiency of execution, it's growing, it's getting better, and we're looking forward to that continuing to trend upwards.
Mister, we got a few more. The first one's Jason Caldwell.
Larry, if I may, can I ask you about a tight end real quick? Chad said Brandon Frazier back this week. What does he bring to the table for you guys and joining a group that has some unique pieces already?
Well, he just adds to that. He has his own skill set. The others have their own skill set. And the more pieces that we have with different skill sets, it gives Coach Morris an opportunity to do different things with them. And I think Coach Morris has done a tremendous job trying to utilize those guys in certain situations and play to their strengths. But Brandon is a big, tall man, great hands, a really good route runner. He's growing in the area of blocking, so he's starting to come together as a complete tight end and go through that maturing process and that growth process as a freshman. Sometimes can be difficult, but I think that he's handling it extremely well, and we're looking forward to him, showing more as we get ready to go down the final stretch of this season.